of Wands. Looks like you have a decision to make, Gemini. Probably wanting to change careers, looking at new career opportunities, probably wanting to travel, wanting to move abroad, wanting to move overseas. But there's a decision that you need to make. There's some kind of planning stage that you are in, but definitely looks like either you want to expand within the same career, the same business, or you're looking at two different career paths right now. See, your biggest influence or what is hindering is the Lovers here, which is again making very two different choices. The Lovers is choices, right? This is choices between it's like whatever you need to do, right? It's going to be like a very significant life-changing decision. So I'm getting something where you're completely changing your career, or there's this business partnership that you have that you need to think about, or this is choices in career of absolutely two very contradictory career paths, like I said, okay? Your current situation right now looks like there is something that you feel the need to fight off competition, okay? Or you feel the need to defend your position, okay? You're probably facing a few challenges, and that could be one of the reasons why you're stuck, okay? And you do need to make a decision. We have Two of Wands here with the Lovers here, okay? That's a lot of choices, but it's like getting to a point where you really need to make a more logistic choice. But right now looks like you're trying to stand by your position, okay, and trying your best not to, not to be overcome by competition or just hold your ground. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. You're probably wanting to leave something unfinished, See, what you're doing right now, subconsciously, there's a lot of contemplation going on, I think this time it's more like this week is going to be more like thinking. The Hermit is someone who does a lot of contemplation, about the next steps in his career or searching for a completely new purpose in a career. Okay, that's what's going on. But on your mind, we have the World in reverse here. This is more like something is left unfinished, okay? There's something that you want to leave, or you feel like there is like this missing piece in your present career, okay? But the World in reverse is also more like it's a career path where you have this false measure of success, where it's like you've completed your goals, you feel you're done and dusted with this career, there's nothing much to learn. But according to other people, probably according to what they feel success is, you feel, you're comparing your situation to what other people think, but probably they feel, oh no, that's not enough, you can't achieve this much, but you've probably finished a cycle, and that's why you're probably, constantly conflicted in your head. Ten of Swords in the near future, there's going to be something that's going to come to an end, okay? The Ten of Swords is not only something painful ending painfully, but this is also someone where you probably are losing a job, there's too much office politics, or this could also be leading you to some kind of breakdown from stress or burnout, okay? So be very careful about that. You need to make a decision very quickly, but at the same time something very logical, okay? Try and do as much as planning you can, okay? I hope you guys can see the cards. Okay. Alright, let's see. Well, how do you see yourself? Queen of Swords in reverse. You're not communicating properly. Seriously. This is someone who is very negative. Your attitude right now is very negative. Either towards the people that you're working with, okay? But this is a very excessively negative person, okay? Someone who holds a grudge, someone who's very overly critical, okay? But this is also someone who's very bad at communication, okay? Be very careful about that. With a Hierophant here in your environment, I think you feel the need to be very conservative, okay, about what you need to do. I think I'm literally getting that conservative kind of attitude. Maybe that's something that you haven't been all this while, but now probably you feel the need to go a little bit conservative, more like, wanting to do what is already done and not wanting to do something brand new. Okay, there's some teamwork, or either you feel that you want to work with some mentor, okay? But to me, the Hierophant looks like you want to do something which is not outside the box, okay? Something where your money is going to stay safe. You don't want to experiment and take risks with your finances or take risk with any kind of work environment, okay? You want to do something traditional, something that is already done, something where you want to follow the rule book, okay? In your emotions, you have the Six of Cups here. Okay, so I feel that either you want to go back to doing what you've always been doing. Okay, so maybe what you're doing right now is something that's not making you happy, or you miss how your good times were. Okay, you miss the good times, you want to return back to your previous work. Okay, or this is just you, in your mind you feel like you're learning your career lessons. Okay, and you don't want to repeat the past mistakes. I'm getting more like, not returning to your previous work. Okay, but the way your attitude is right now, you're in a very negative zone right now, so you're not being able to see things more clearly. The Hangman. Your likely outcome is going to be that you're going to wait it out. Okay, the Hangman is someone who basically, the Hangman is pause. Okay, it's a big pause, and this pause is a good pause. Okay, this pause is needed. It's basically waiting and contemplating about making the next steps in your business or change of career, whatever, right? But this is more like a brake force on you. Okay, the outcome is going to be, if you don't make a decision, the outcome is going to be that there's going to be this brake force on you. Okay, and you're going to be in this feeling of waiting, and there's going to be this period of uncertainty. But that's fine. That's fine. If you resist this pause button, right, you're going to feel absolutely blocked, stuck, and restricted, okay? Either due to other people or circumstances, okay, which are going to put you on hold. So, yeah, before you get into a new mindset, before you jump into something new, this is a very good thing. This is a very meditative, very spiritual energy, which means that you are giving yourself some time. You're trying to gather more information. Agree, this is the period of lack of action, okay? A lot of inaction, but again, it's literally like if you see like a pendulum, right? It's moving from one corner to another, but there's no halting, okay? It's just like lying there trying to make a decision of whether you want to be in the left or whether you want to be on the right. But yeah, it's like you're just lying there and trying to think about things, okay? And I think this is needed because I think in the near future you're going to be over exhausted, okay? So I have a feeling that you're going to take a break from your current career, or you're going to give it some time, okay? You're going to give some time before you completely flip and switch on to either going back to what you knew or flipping to a completely new career path. All right, because I see a lot of contemplation here. Let's see, why is the Queen of Swords in reverse? Either this is someone in your environment, but I don't see that a lot, but this is definitely, I see you. Okay, why the Queen of Swords in reverse? All right, try for the Queen of Swords in reverse. Why is this Queen of Swords in reverse? See the Chariot here. I have a feeling that, you know what, you should, there is a need for being more, not positive, but having to look at the facts in a more constructive way. Right now, you're being more destructive, okay? And because of that, you're lacking the ambition. I'm getting that you're being too aggressive in your goals right now, okay? You're rushing in, into a lot of deals which shouldn't be, okay? That strong ambition, motivation, and control at work is completely reversed, okay? And that is because of your negative attitude. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, there's something that you're not seeing clearly. You're not being able to communicate, but at the same time, you're looking at, like they say, right? There's a glass that is half full, right? So it's about you, whether you're seeing it half empty or half full. Here, right now, you're seeing it half empty. Anything that you see, right, there's always two perspectives to it. So you're not looking like in lockdown, right? A lot of people made their money because they tried to find out an opportunity within that situation, okay? So try and find an opportunity within a situation. Don't hold a grudge, okay? Because you're missing how good your work was in the past, okay? But things change, right? If you're going to keep living in those good memories, it's not going to work out, okay? And that's one of the reasons why you had a very strong reputation of being very fair and having a lot of integrity. Right now, because of your attitude, things are getting worse, okay? People probably are looking at you as someone who's a very cruel co-worker or a very cruel boss, okay? So don't let that negativity affect you. And this is not only normal, this is excessive negativity. Because of this negativity, there are chances that you're not being able to move forward. You have that determination, to reach your goals. But because you're not being able to look at it in the right perspective, you need to change the way you think, okay? You're lacking that ambition, and now you're going everywhere, okay? You're getting too aggressive in your goals. Like I said, so that's something you need to think about, okay? This contemplation is a good time here. But I guess because you're not being able to make a choice, that's why the Ten of Swords here. Let me clarify. Why is the Ten of Swords here? Because that's a lot of excessive stress and burnout. Probably because you're not being able to make a choice. Tell me, what is the Ten of Swords? Why is this in the near future? Ace of Wands in reverse, you have a lot of passion, okay? There's a lot of enthusiasm in what you want to do, how you want to move forward, you know? You have that kick, you know, you have that inspiration, you know, to wanting to do more creative projects or wanting to do something that you're passionate about. But because of the success and burnout, right, you're lacking the inspiration, there's a lack of progress, you know, and you're feeling very uncreative, okay? There could be some financial losses or some risky financial decisions also that you're making. So, this 10 of swords, right? This exhaustion needs to go. It needs to go. What is the 7 of wands here? What is this that you're so defensive about? Clarify the 7 of wands. Maybe you're trying to defend your position, current position right now, which is exhausting you, but you feel the need that you need to let something go. You've achieved what you had to. You don't need to listen to too many people, you know, and you need to move on. That's something that you're not doing. What's the 7 of wands? What is the 7 of wands? What is this that you're protecting? What's the 7 of wands? 2 of cups in reverse. There's like probably a bad partnership that's going on, okay? Someone's screwing you over, or this is just you who's not on the same page with the other person, okay? This is absolute bad partnership, or a partnership that was once very good, where there were two people in a good business partnership, you know, good relationship goals, etc. It was a very helpful business partnership. It's now become a very bad partnership, okay? It's become very combative, is what I'd say. You know, you're spending more than you're earning. You guys are going over budget. Probably one of you is going over budget, okay? It's getting you financially stressed, etc. But right now, that's why. So probably it's this partnership or you butting heads with your colleagues, okay? Which is the point where you feel that, you know what, your ground is slipping, okay? You feel you're not being able to hold your ground. It's slipping from your hands and you're getting even more aggressive about it, okay? But your biggest blockage is that you need to make a choice. You need to make a choice. It's literally like you need to change your career or you need to change your business, whatever. But you're refusing to do it because you're still wanting to hold your ground. What's the lovers here? Maybe you feel threatened by this person. See, Four of Pentacles. Look how hard you're holding on to. Probably what I'm getting here is that you're not being able to make a choice because right now you're wanting to hold on to something that is very, very valuable to you, okay? For you, the current job that you're in, it's very valuable, okay? And you're trying to avoid collaboration, okay? But this can also mean paranoia. Very paranoid, you know you need to make a decision, but you're just not being able to, okay? Maybe this is a very screwed up partnership that you're with, your colleagues are screwed up, okay, whatever, someone is not right here. You're not on the same page with whoever you're working with, right? But you know you need to make a decision, but you're not because you feel wherever you are right now, that's where the stability is. But let me tell you, my friend, if you're going to choose to stay where you are, you're going to lead to a burnout and there's going to be a false start into something, okay? You're going to lose that enthusiasm. It's going to be tough, which in turn is making you very, very negative. And because of which things are not going to move forward, and that's why you're going to come to a complete standstill. Neither are you going to be able to pursue something new, nor are you going to be able to be happy in the job or business that you're currently pursuing or the career. The Hangman, that's a halt. That's a complete halt, pause in wherever you are, okay? So if you want to start making moves, it's better that you make that choice right now. A very logistic choice. Don't make emotional choices, okay? Because this is holding on to something too tight because it's giving you that stability. But probably it's not fulfilling you anymore, you know? It's not fulfilling you anymore. You've probably reached your goals. You've probably ended a cycle here. But now you're going on and on with that same cycle. You know, you're doing the same thing over and over again. But it's like this unfulfilling job, business or career that you're into, okay? But it's like you've already reached your goal. But now it's like, what next? This is not fulfilling me, you know. You want to do something new, but you feel like you're in the same cycle, right? Because you're choosing to stay away from making a choice. That's very, very important. And for you, probably you've never done it. Probably you thought you'll stick to this business or career for a lifetime. But circumstances change, okay? And if you don't change and adapt to the kind of situation that you're in, you're going to be in serious hot water. Okay? You're going to lack the enthusiasm because of this, whatever, severe burnout or exhaustion. You're going to feel like a victim. So, with a Hermit here, this is a good card here. You're being wise, okay? But if you're not going to make a decision and just isolate yourself, that's not going to work out, okay? You have to be in this place and try and make a decision rather than just sit there, hold on to your security and not move on to something forward or something better, okay? So that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope this reading works and resonates with you. Do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.